my favorite new website, this topic came up. Psychedelics open a new window on the mechanisms of perception. I thought this was interesting, and I thought that you specifically, Rhea, would love this. It just says, everything became imbued with a sense of vitality of life and vividness. If I picked up a pebble from the beach, it would move. It would glisten and gleam and sparkle and be absolutely captivating, says neuroscientist Anil, terrible name. Anil, A-N-I-L, Anil Seth.
Anil.
And he says, Anil, I guess. Somebody looking at me would see me staring at a stone for hours, or what seemed like hours to Seth. So it's like it opens up this new thing where your perception of time is a little bit different, but it's not like it's actually what you think it is. Kind of like how it's hot when you're high. Like if you just smoke weed, it's like, oh, you sit there and you're like, holy shit, we've been like so high for hours, and it's only been like 20 minutes. It's the same shit with shrooms and LSD, they're saying. And they're saying how like it's strange how your brain reacts to these things in controlled doses, and that they open up new passageways.
I don't want to sound like a hardo, but I'm going to. Shrooms changed my life.
You've been saying that for a couple months.
Are fucking awesome.
An exaggeration.
Yeah,
the last 2 times that I have done shrooms have been 2 of my favorite days ever. I'm not even joking. We did them this past weekend in at the Jersey Shore, just on the beach, the boardwalk, corn dogs, swings, rides, just good wholesome fun.
Yeah.
On shrooms.
Do you plan on upping the dose as you go?
Yes, but I like what I've been doing. Like, I'm not going like all in and like I'm so fucked up, but I'm doing enough where everything is the greatest thing in the world. Life is absolutely wonderful.
Just elevated.
Everything is so funny. You feel awake, you feel sober, but you're just like, everything is awesome.
Yeah, you just laugh a little more.
Everything is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, that's the song that plays in my head
The Lego
when I
movie.
do shrooms.
Yeah.
Changed my life. I seriously think like as soon as I started doing them, my anxiety kind of went away. Like, I just feel like a better person. I sound like such an asshole, but it's really how I feel.
I don't think that you do, though.
Shrooms
I think that
are
a lot
fucking
of people are figuring that out, and especially in small doses. Like, I had
my
like
body
friends,
feels better.
I have like parents of friends that are kind of like dabbling in it and feel better about it. Do you guys think that I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I don't think that like your tolerance for shroom, like I don't think that, you know, if you like smoke too much weed, you have to like smoke more weed to get high. I feel like that has never happened to me with shrooms. Like, I've done a lot of shrooms. I've never been like, damn, I've done too many shrooms. I need to do more now. I feel like it's very consistent all the time.
I think what Noah was referring to was just like, maybe you'll do more to feel more.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm saying like separately from
dosage,
that. Separately from that, I don't think that is the case. If like your tolerance
I
level.
read Seth Rogen's book, and he said that mushrooms, he says, you're the passenger, and if you take acid, you're in the driver's seat. Like, that's how he described it.
I did acid the other day.
That's actually true.
I forgot to even
how
talk
was
about
that?
this. Honestly, so fun. I had tried acid once in college, and it was shitty. We were like and I was also drinking. It like wasn't a good vibe. And it's I didn't have like a bad trip or anything. I also don't think I did enough. Like, it just wasn't like a good experience. And that was my only time I've ever done it, because usually people don't really like fuck with acid all the time. And then the other day, I was able to try a little bit of more acid, and I thought that like I had never laughed harder on shrooms. I have never laughed harder than on acid. And we were like doing some dumb shit. We were just like watching the news. It was like a rainstorm. We were watching the news, like the local news, and like talking about bullshit. And I swear to God, like my face hurt from laughing. I was streaming tears like I've never cried in my life just from laughing. What's that?
Were you seeing shit?
No. Oh, you know what? Yes, a little bit outside, because we were watching the rain for a little while, and we kept thinking we were seeing animals, because earlier in the day we saw like a fox run through the dunes. This is the beach. We saw a fox run through the dunes. And we were like, holy shit! And we were sober. We were like, oh fuck! And so after that, I kept thinking I like saw it again, and I kept thinking I saw like other cats like walking around, but they weren't. They were just like, you know, they were. Whatever they're called, like the reeds that come up through the plants that are in the sand on dunes, and they were swaying in the wind, and they kind of like were playing tricks on our eyes, and but it was so fucking funny and so fun, but it very much felt like I could have done anything. I just was like sweating a lot and like really laughing a lot, but I was very much like in control of the situation.
Yeah, I think that's a common misconception of like acid, shrooms, whatever. People think they just talk about or hear about the really extreme stories of where people were walking and they walked through a rainbow and ended up finding a pot of gold, and then all of a sudden a monster came out and chased them, and like all that shit. And they don't talk about, if you just do a little bit, you can fully function in a public setting. Like I've gone out and like we went out. The last time I did, I went out and I was just happy, just having a good time.
Right. You just, as long as you like remind yourself that you're in control of the situation. I think that sometimes you can like let it get away from you. I think shrooms, if I like think about it too much, you can get a little anxious.
You're like,
being
fuck, I'm on
shit.
shrooms.
Yeah, like I'm on shrooms. I gotta control myself. But then you're like, wait a minute, I'm fine. Like I'm all good.
Yeah.
As long as you remind yourself of that. But no, the acid was hysterical. It just was like, and like I said, whatever I had done the first time was shitty compared to like what I was doing that time.
And they say really a lot of these things are really good for treating like mental health disorders and PTSD and all these other things. And I really think there's a lot of truth to that. And hopefully there's just more studies on it so it becomes more of like a thing.
I hope so too.
I did Ecstasy a couple weekends ago in Miami, and it was, I felt like I was floating as I was walking, and I came home. It didn't hit me. The fucked up thing was, it didn't hit me till I left the club and went back to my hotel.
It's so annoying. No. It's so annoying.
But it was great.
But then you're like,
I was laying in bed and I was like,
yeah.
I'm flying. I'm literally like on a rainbow flying right now. Like I wasn't seeing anything or anything, but I was saying in my head, I've never felt so good.
You feel so
I was cuddling myself. I was like, this feels so
always
good.
Rubbing your body with a pillow.
Warm.
Yeah.
You feel like warm and cool at the same time.
Finding feathers out of the pillow and just rubbing them on yourself.
It felt so good, and now I want to do Ecstasy all the time.
If ever I take Ecstasy, it's always, I feel like warm and cold at the same time, but it's the perfect temperature. Like I can if I think about like, oh, I'm hot, I'll be like, damn, I'm sweating. But then I'm like, oh, I'm freezing, but I'm actually really comfortable right now. Like it's always such a battle in my head.